Snow Fun. It was winter on the island of Sodor. Everything was covered in a thick blanket of white snow, and it was making work difficult for the Fat Controller's engines. But Terence the tractor wasn't worried. "Don't worry, you two," he told Thomas and Percy. "If you get stuck in the snow, I'm sure I'll be able to pull you out." Thomas and Percy hoped that wouldn't need to happen. But later that day, the Fat Controller received bad news. "Stepney is stuck in a snowdrift near the harbour. He must be moved at once or the main line will be blocked," the signalman told the Fat Controller. The Fat Controller knew exactly who could help. He hurried to the yard and asked Donald and Douglas to go out and rescue Stepney. They steamed down to the yard as fast as they could go, and began ploughing through the snow, clearing the line and sending showers of it onto the sides of the tracks. At last they found Stepney. "Oh, thank goodness," he sighed gratefully. "I'm glad to see you two." The workmen used their shovels to clear the snow away from Stepney, and soon he was able to follow Donald and Douglas back to the yards along the lines they had cleared. "Oh, thank you, you two," he puffed when they got back to the yard. "You were splendid." "Yes, indeed," said the Fat Controller. "Donald and Douglas, you've done so well, you can have the rest of the day off." The twins were pleased, but they decided to have a bit of fun with their day off. "We've got a snow pipe to our snowplows, Dougie. We should do something with it." Douglas was intrigued. "What did you hear in mind?" "I'll show you," Donald winked. Stepney watched them chuffing around the yard. They piled up the snow and pushed it around gently. "What are you up to?" he asked curiously. "You'll see soon enough," Donald grinned. And he did. "Oh my!" Stepney laughed so loud that the Fat Controller heard him from his office and came out to see what was going on. "Sir!" Stepney called to him. "Come and see this!" The Fat Controller came closer, and there, standing by the side of the track, was a big round snowman with coal for eyes and a big smile too. It looked just like the Fat Controller. "It's a Topham snowman," chuckled Stepney. The Fat Controller turned to the engines. "Which one of you built this then?" Donald and Douglas squirmed and looked at each other. "It was him," they said together, one looking at the other. The Fat Controller turned and looked at Stepney. But he wasn't going to say who it was either. "It's very good," the Fat Controller said with a smile, "but it's not quite right." And with that, the Fat Controller took off his black top hat and placed it on the snowman's head. "Perfect,"